Hi guys, so I'm about to make dinner and I'm gonna do a cherry tomato and onion baked chicken and a mixed root vegetable like potato bake kind of thing. So let's get going. Okay, so we're gonna get kicked on, and the first thing we're gonna do is put our chicken thighs in here because that would get one thing out of the way, right? So we've got 2 each because we've been keeping our bits carefully away. We go straight in the sink since it's had chicken in it because we reuse our bags as much as possible. Right, the next bit is we need to get things going in the pan. Okay, now we're using 2 packets of cherry tomatoes, but we picked them up for 24p each. So yeah, and 2 onions as well. Now the pan might look a bit grotty. It's not as grotty as you think it is, okay? We're reusing some of the bacon, the bacon fat that came off last night's dinner. So that's gonna go into our sauce, adding some more flavor to it. Okay, so just gonna warm that up a bit. Get all these in here. Ooh. Okay, dropped one. Oh. Right. Okay, now into that we're going to put some little bit of salt. We're also going to put a teaspoon of our garlic powder in, because Tony seems to be tolerating this where he doesn't tolerate the fresh garlic, which that's a good thing. We're going to sprinkle in some oregano from the garden. There we go. And some thyme. Dried thyme as well. Yoink. Ooh. Hang on. Don't be scared to use flavour in your food. I have to be a little bit careful with Tony because as much as he likes flavour in his food, he doesn't like too much. He's got to find balance on that, on him. Yeah, very fine balance on him. So that this amount of time ought to do quite nicely, actually. There we go. Right. So, I'm going to spatula out. Just a bit of a warm through. We don't want to overly cook this. We just want to start releasing some of the flavours before it goes in the oven. I'm going to put my oven on gas mark 4, which is 180 degrees. See, 180 or 200, something around there. Anyway, but it's about there. Okay, so we've started to release a lot of that stuff, which is what we wanted to do before we put it in the oven. So let's put the oven on. There it goes. There we are. Well, that cooked down a wee bit, not a lot. Just enough to let things release a bit. I'll get these herbs out of the way. Okay. That should do it, actually, because that's started to soften, as you can see, and that's what we want. If we wanted it to pick up all those flavours in the pan from the bacon from earlier, that way we don't have to use any other fats. either, which is good. Turn that off. And we've got our chicken. Actually, I wonder if I'll put that. I might put this underneath the chicken. Hang on a sec. Put this doing its thing underneath the chicken. One over there. This way we get our chicken gets browned off, which sounds good. Sounds like a good idea to me. Right, that's going in the oven now for about 40 minutes because our oven's slow, so it probably only take about 30 minutes in you guys' oven. Okay. Back in a sec. Okay, now I'm gonna scare you guys a little bit. But I want to show you something that I think you guys have missed. And I think a lot of people miss because they go, oh no, you can't do that. But I just want to ask you a question first before I do this. What do you think cheese is? What happens to milk when it splits? Turns into curds and whey, right? It's the same when your milk goes sour and it starts to go chunky. It's exactly what it is. It's just done it naturally itself. Nothing wrong with it. It isn't poisonous. As long as it doesn't smell like it's gone really bad. Like if it's gone green, don't touch it. Okay? But ours has gone to chunks and it's fine. But since we don't buy milk that often, and when we do it tends to do this, I refuse to not use it. So our sauce for our root vegetable bake is going to be made with this, and I'll show you how. Okay, so what we're going to do first, you're going to put a cloth in a colander over your bowl, right? And then you're going to pour all this in. Chunky. You're going to let it sit. And you're going to let it drain, and it'll let all the water out. Okay? I don't think there's anything really left in there. Oh, I think we need a birch seed in there. Right. And that's all you have to do. Now, you need to let it sit for a bit so that all the liquid will come out of it. You could, if you wanted to, put it over the stove and add some lemon juice to it just to make sure that it splits even more off, but it's not that necessary. So this is going to take a little while to do this, so I'm going to leave it to sit aside while I go and prep my veg. And we'll go and pop this over here so it's out the way. Right, now the veg I'm going to use for our root veg bake, I've got some swede, which desperately needs to be used, carrot, sweet potato and normal potato. Now I shall be back once these are sliced to show you what to do next. Okay, so we're going to make our sauce now. I've finished slicing up all the veg. We've got most of the water out of this, but we have still got quite a lot. And I'm going to leave it as it is, to be honest, because it doesn't matter that much. It's turned into more like a yogurt this time, for me at least. This is proper clear cheesecloth, so that's going to have to go in the... So it's more like a yogurt kind of texture, thin yogurt. So yeah, at the moment that's exactly what that is. Just wash my hand off. Ew. Now we want to add some flavour to this because we don't want it just being as it is, otherwise it'd be a bit meh. So we're going to add 2 vegetable stock cubes. Let's put some heat on underneath this, might help. 2 veg stock cubes, and we're going to put a little bit of nutritional yeast in here as well, just to give it a bit of bounce of flavour, because it kind of needs that. Right, get those in there. Get our little whiskey disc, whisk. Yay. Get maybe a quarter a cup of the nutritional yeast in there. Now you want those stock cubes to break up, and they will. It will just take a little bit of time to get that done. That'll need to heat up first before that can happen. Oh, right. Alrighty-hoo. And is that done yet? Nope, nearly. Nearly. Give it a minute or 6. Okay. Alright. We'll leave that simmer so that we can build up our main dish. Okay, so we're going to start by we're going to be layering our potatoes on the bottom. First, we need to have lots and lots of potatoes in here, because otherwise Tanny won't eat it. It's just the way it is. Okay, we're just going to turn our sauce down a wee bit, because we don't want that going too spastic. Alright, now we're going to put a little bit of sweet potato. Lay that down on there. Okay. Alright. Get these in. We're going to get some of our sweet on. Okay. Whoops. Okay. A bit more. Trying to use up all this sweet in this middle bit, and then we can go with some more the sweet potato, and then we're going to finish it off with the normal potato. Yay! That should be plenty then. This will do us for 2, 3, 4 meals, not even kidding. Definitely 3, I would imagine. Go. Not quite, but that's fine. Just get all these on here. Now this is going to take about an hour and a half to cook, because it's got to cook all the potatoes. You can pre-cook all of this stuff beforehand, but honestly I'd rather just get it done and just chuck it in and then that be done, because that's what I prefer. I don't like doing double handling if I don't have to. I'd rather wait a bit longer. And Tanny's out at the moment anyway, so it's not like dinner has to be here right now. So yeah, But we're going to get all this down and done. Yes, I am going to load it up because it will shrink a bit. Okay. That'll do. Right. There's our sauce in there. Now, this is what I'm going to do. Give me a second. Alright, I'm just going to pull the chicken out of the oven first. Alright, what I've actually done is I've added some oat milk to this because it didn't look like it was going to be enough now that this was made. And I'd rather have too much than not enough, because otherwise it'll wreck everything. What I am going to do is add a little bit of flour to that to make it a little bit thicker and to give it some stability while it's cooking. So just a little bit of flour, and then I'm going to whisk the hell out of that. Normally I use soy cream and vegan cream cheese, but today we are using what we have. Which is some leftover vegetables, some leftover milk, little bits and bobs from the cupboard, and that's pretty much all we've got. Right, so yeah. A little bit more. I don't want it to be thick because it's got to steam these veg as well. I just want it to have a little bit of emulsion to it to be able to do what it's got to do. Right, now this sauce is going straight onto here. Oops. Alright, we'll get rid of some of those lumpy bumpy bits. We don't need those. Now that can go straight in the oven as is, and shall do. It's going in at gas mark 4. Actually, it's on gas mark 5 because our oven's a pain in the ass. So it's going in at gas mark 4 for everybody else, which is 200 degrees C. Basically what you put the chicken in on. Alright. Ah! Shit. I'm going to go sit down now and have a brew, because I need one right now. I'll see you in a bit. We are done and we are cooked. As the chicken is done. I'll go over here. Yes, I did actually put foil on it halfway through and turned up the oven because it was just taking forever. It's actually taken about an hour and a half. If you steam off your veg first or part cook the root vegetables, it's only going to take about half an hour. But yeah, didn't do that. Nope. Anyway, meet you at the desk. Okay, so dinner altogether has probably cost about £2 altogether for the chicken and cherry tomatoes bake, and the actual root vegetable bake has probably cost us about £1, and there is enough there for how many meals would you think, though? About 4 for the 2 of us, so it's over about 8. 2?
It's not chicken up, is it?
Well, no, but I'm talking about the root vegetable.
Who wrote all the last time I thought?
About a week.
2.
2? He likes it. He must do. He wouldn't have said that. So what do you think, hun?
Sorry, eat it.
The fact he's actually eating it is a good sign.
Cookies down.
Are you, darling? He's going in for more.
It's alright. It's just flavouring. Weird for me.
It's a win. It's a win. He's still eating it. He hasn't gone out to go and make himself a cheese patty. We're all good. Okay, guys. I'm going to go now. And we will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.